The president claiming vindication by what Democrats are calling a one-sided Russia report, fueled by House Intel Committee Republicans tonight. The major finding: none of the witnesses interviewed by the House Intelligence Committee provided evidence of collusion, coordination, or conspiracy by the Trump campaign and the Russia government. The report did cite what it called ill-advised contact with WikiLeaks by Trump associates and highlighted the June 6th meeting Donald Trump Jr. had with Russian attorney Natalia Veselnitskaya. Today, a new revelation from Veselnitskaya saying she was a government informant for Russia's prosecutor general. So let's talk about it with Democratic Congressman from Illinois, Raja Krishnamoorthi of the current Oversight Committee, and Fox News contributor Jason Chaffetz, who used to chair that committee. Gentlemen, welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's start with a little bit more of what we hear from the committee. It says the committee found no evidence that the Trump campaign colluded, coordinated, or conspired with the Russia government. The investigation did find poor judgment and ill-considered actions by both the Trump and Clinton campaigns. Congressman, what do you make of what was issued today? And yes, it was authored by the Republicans.
Yes, it used to be that the House Intel Committee was a bipartisan committee, and they would issue one report, and unfortunately two reports were issued today, one by the majority and one by the minority. As you said, the majority said there was no collusion, and the minority basically said the investigation is incomplete. I think the one unanswered question that's on my mind is this whole meeting with Natalia Veselnitskaya that you had alluded to before. Mm-hmm. She admitted to be a Russian informant. Apparently, when questioned about Ms. Veselnitskaya, the chairman of the committee didn't know that she was an informant and didn't pursue investigations in this light. So I do think there are some questions, major questions, that are outstanding, and therefore I think that, in my humble opinion, the work of the committee is still incomplete.
Okay. Well, the ranking Democrat, Adam Schiff, on the committee said this, in part, to determine whether this evidence of collusion reaches the level of proof beyond a reasonable doubt of criminal conspiracy, we must await the report of special counsel Robert Mueller, since the majority refused to interview the witnesses and obtain the documents necessary to find out. Jason, your reaction to that characterization of what happened? And by the way, the last we heard, and this could have changed because it's secret, last we heard, though, Veselnitskaya had not been questioned by the special counsel investigators.
Well, look, Director Mueller, it'll be fascinating to see what he comes through. And I know there were some people that were not interviewed in deference to Director Mueller, but the committee did more than, I think, 75 interviews. There were countless hours. This has gone on for more than a year. And I still challenge the Democrats, who've been flailing since the time President Trump became President Trump, saying all this collusion, but they have no evidence of anything. And after all of this and all of these gyrations, they still don't have anything. There is no evidence out there to point to so-called collusion.
All right, I want to read something now that comes from Congressman Conaway, who is overseeing this particular investigation on the House Intel Committee, and get reaction from both of you. He says, I'm extremely disappointed with the overzealous redactions made by the intelligence community. My team and I will continue to challenge the IC's many unnecessary redactions with the hopes of releasing more of the report in the upcoming months. Congressman, he said that he was very disappointed that he promised the American people something much more transparent than what they were able to issue today. What do you make of that?
I actually saw the report, and that's true. There's a tremendous number of redactions all over the place. So I'd like to know a little more about that. But I do think that this Veselnitskaya connection is troubling. I'm hoping that the Senate Intelligence Committee, which is acting in a bipartisan manner, will continue to run this down along with Special Counsel Mueller. And I would just say that I hope that we speed to a conclusion on this, but I think that more injurious than continuing this investigation would be not answering all these very important questions.
Jason, final word to you.
The Intelligence Committee does not make the decision about what is redacted and what is not. This is a systemic problem across every department and agency. Far too much is redacted. The American people want to see this. The members of Congress on both sides of the aisle want it out there, and they should put it out there.
Former chairman and congressman of the Oversight Committee, Jason Chaffetz, and current congressman, Democrat on that same committee, Krishnamoorthi. Thank you both for being in today.